Feels like I have a hair in my mouth.
No.
Feels like we haven't recorded together, like in the same space in forever.
We haven't. And the longest we've ever gone without recording in the same space. It's a new SMSoup record.
Dude, I love when we like set and break records.
When we achieve the unachievable, you might say.
Yeah. I'm trying to...
Did you lose your
Did
note?
you do this?
Oh, yeah, I accidentally, I didn't realize I was still on that. And I accidentally, searching for my note, found that and started typing and realized it was not my note and I deleted it.
So then...
But it brought it up to the top.
Gotcha. So nothing new's on there.
No.
So we should nuke it.
Are we still using it for any? I don't even know what's on it.
I don't know.
I didn't look at it that hard. Listen, we started with a shared... Well, no. We started with individual notes. And then we made a shared note that had a lot of the same shit on it. But then I feel like you and I each had stuff that we didn't want the other seeing. So then we each want our own notes anyway. Now there's just this ominous shared note that I don't even know what's on it. And I was sitting at the top of my damn notes. Damn notes.
I feel like I wasn't prepared for this. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What are we talking about? What are we doing today?
I don't know. This was your job. Talking about
SMSoup. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SMSoup, the number one podcast with soup in the name, but not on the brain. Your two hosts are back together. I'm Spencer.
And I'm Shelby, without the delay. Because we're back together.
And together we're here to take you on a journey through life's biggest, grandest, best
questions.
Like,
waiter, how is this soup made?
how you doing, Shelby?
I'm all right. You know, I'm here, so that's a plus.
Chilling.
Add it to the pros. I almost said cons. Add it to the pros. I'm here. I'm sitting here. So that's a win. It's a beautiful day out. I know that means nothing to anyone listening, but I just want you all to know it's beautiful outside right now.
The weather around us has been
wonderful
here of late.
Yeah.
What's been going on? How'd you enjoy your little week vacation for me?
Oh, well, I wouldn't really call it a vacation. Basically, I was going up for some family related stuff. Everything's fine, but some family related stuff. So it wasn't really a vacation.
Gotcha.
But can't complain. All is fine. Got to see a bunch of people. Got to, spend some quality family time, which doesn't happen much outside the holidays. So I guess that's a plus. Like that. But unfortunately, I left beautiful weather North Carolina for shitty, cold, more northeast weather. And that was very upsetting. So I actually complained quite a lot about that. I was that person for pretty much the whole week. Because I did not prepare for it at all with my clothing choices. Yeah. So yeah. It was actually funny. I bring my, when I travel, I tend to bring like one or two pieces of clothing that I've made that I do plan on selling if it's not already up on my site to stress test them, to be like, oh, do I want to take any fun photos of them? So I'm not constantly just like, God damn it, I need to throw something together for a social media picture. Like that way it's more natural. Also just to be like, is there something I should be doing different moving forward when I make these? Like, I just like to test them out in the wild. One of them was like a blanket pullover. Like I turned woven blankets into like pullovers and hoodies. And that was the warmest thing I brought. So for 2 days, because I'm wearing a freaking blanket and it's like 35 degrees, that was my clothing and it kept me warm.
I was gonna say, did it do a good job?
It kept me warm.
There you go.
So still could have used a coat. And I had multiple people offer to lend me theirs, but I was like, I don't know how I'd get it back to you because I was all over the place. But yeah, so That's a plus. Not that that's an intention of self promo, but the blankets I made kept me warm.
This is your podcast, so
yeah. So anyway, Shelby lives. But yeah, how was your week? Your vacation, if you will.
It was good.
Yeah?
It was all right.
You and Grogu had a party?
No, we didn't party, but
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, just didn't have my bitch wife nagging me all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
What are some of the most naggiest things I normally say? What do you want for dinner?
Yeah, literally nothing. So that was a joke.
Yeah.
It was a little joke.
Mm-hmm.
About how you nag me.
Mm-hmm.
You never nag me. No, my week sucked.
Yeah.
I didn't like being specifically, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not that I it didn't suck just because we weren't together.
Yeah.
Like, obviously I love spending time with you and love just like coexisting with you in spaces and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so that alone is weird. And that like was a negative to the week.
Sure.
But like I think about the times when we go home for like holidays and stuff like that, right? And like,
yeah,
we're typically separate, like
in
our own spaces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was the fact that I was in our shared space, by myself for longer than just like a weekend.
Yeah, it was.
And then it just like started to get like really weird. So like having to go to work and then
make yourself dinner and then eat by yourself.
Right.
And take care of Grogu and
and then to like go to bed to have to wake up and do it the next day. And the next day. Not like, it wasn't like it was like you left on like Thursday night and so then it was just like Friday was kind of weird, but like Friday's a weekend.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It wasn't just that. So it was really, really weird.
Yeah, I get that.
It was just super bizarre.
I get that.
And I didn't like that very much. But I survived. A lot of people had very little faith in me.
They really did. Which I will say again, I think is how I feel like they have that perception because you give off that perception. Like you say that. You know what I'm saying? Like we had two friends who basically thought you were going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Spencer, what are you going to eat?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do to keep yourself company? Like, how are you going to survive?
I mean, that's crazy. The second one's crazy.
Second one's crazy because they really don't know what you do
like
every day then.
The whole, like, Spencer, what are you going to eat thing? Yes, you do normally make dinner and stuff like that.
But, like, you do know how to make food.
But on the days when you don't make dinner and we're heating up leftovers, I would say it's like 75% of the time I'm heating it up.
You're a big heat up guy. You know how to work a microwave,
if
you know what I mean.
A bowl of cereal. Yeah, like I know how to make food. But also like, yes, I have very low self-confidence when it comes to being in the kitchen.
When it comes to cooking a whole meal.
But also, I don't have the motivation.
Oh, yeah.
To make myself like.
Yeah.
No matter what, the best I was going to make myself was grilled cheese sandwich or like maybe mac and cheese is like the like ceiling.
Yeah.
Cause like I'm not gonna go out of my way to like
no, I get
cook this really nice chicken dinner.
Oh, I'm the same way. Yeah.
And like, oh, I'm gonna make myself a little salad with it. Like, no.
I would, yeah. Are you kidding me? If I was by myself, I literally said to you I'd make a giant pot of mac and cheese and I'd probably eat that for 3 days straight.
Right.
With like little snacks on the side as my additive. No, I totally get the like lack of motivation for cooking for yourself, especially when you're used to not having to do that. Like if you do that every day, obviously you're used to it. But
you
like,
get to a point where it's like, you know what, maybe I should treat myself.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be making anything crazy for myself if I was by myself.
But yeah, so I survived.
You did.
I'm glad I beat the odds. The Vegas odds had me at definitely dying. Baseball's back.
Baseball's back.
Which is very exciting.
Yeah.
I love baseball.
I know. I put on some Cardinals gear for opening day, and you didn't.
You did. Yeah.
And you didn't. I'm exposing you.
Okay. I wear Cardinal stuff
Every
at
day.
the most random times of year.
I know. I had to pull mine out of the tub. It was packed away.
Cool.
Now I'm exposing myself.
Yeah.
I pulled it out for opening day.
Weird. Weird. I had something happen in the past week while you were, I think it hit me while you were gone. And I want to say it was like in the lead up to the episode, the last episode we recorded.
Sure, the deep dive.
When we like recorded like we had to
remotely.
do the separate, yeah. Which hopefully that all like came out okay.
I mean, it sounded like a phone call, but from what I oversaw editing it, it like worked.
Yeah.
So that's a plus.
So that's cool. It's good to know.
Yeah. If I should have taken the time to like take my mic and have a better quality audio, but I think it was a good test because I think when we like record with other people, we can't always expect them to have
a real nice microphone.
Yeah, like it's not fair to like, I don't know. As long as like you can discern what someone's saying, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like if you're having a visitor, like a call in or something like that, like yeah, it's fine for the audio quality. As long as you can, like you said, hear what they're saying. Anyway, leading up to it, I don't know like where you're at. I feel like this is just the typical peaks and valleys of my brain.
Okay.
And like my own typical like emotions towards myself.
Okay.
I got struck with this like desire to be like I don't know if it I'm trying to think of the right word. I just got hit with the creative energy.
Okay.
I'll say. Now I want to be clear. I have not channeled that into anything.
But you felt the
I felt the urge of like,
yeah.
I felt the motivation of like, I'm excited to like create.
Okay.
And now I'm like coming back down off of that a little bit.
And you've still done nothing with it.
Yeah, but like I think it'll ramp back up.
Okay.
Sure. Just all things considered.
Sure.
But one of the things was, yes, so it definitely was while you were gone. It like just kind of hit me out of nowhere where I was just like, I want to try and like do like some like voice acting or like
being like a voice personality.
Voice,
yeah.
Like, cause I feel like I could do that.
I could
do that. Come on.
How could it be?
But it was just so funny that like I had like the thought, and it's like one of those things where it's like, will I actually like do anything about it? And
sure,
like odds are, will anything come from it?
Sure.
Odds are, probably not. Technically not. But it's just so funny that I was like thinking it earlier in the day, and then I think it was like the same day you texted me, and I had done a voiceover for a video that you had created. That you said your mom had been like showing a bunch of people, and every single person was like, oh wow, like he did a really good job, and like
they would be like, that's Spencer.
Wow. Yeah.
And literally they would say things like, I can listen to his voice all day. Like he needs to like start recording stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs to make something where his voice is online and you can listen to it.
Oh, dude.
Please no one send this to my mom.
It's just like it's like one of those things. And that's like the the other peaks and valleys of all this.
Yeah.
Is like when you do something and I get that I think I'm really funny.
I think you're funny.
Like I think I'm really funny.
Oh, sorry. I think you're hysterical.
No,
Spencer, you're acting hysterical.
I try to operate at the level of like I am the funniest person I know.
Sure.
Like, and as long as I can believe that and have that confidence in myself, I feel like I will continue to be funny for others.
I would agree
make
with
other people laugh.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, which is like one of the best. Like, if I can catch somebody off guard and make them laugh, it was what was the joke last week? And
You made a geographical joke.
I made, yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
I don't either. But it caught you off guard.
It did.
To the point where you let out almost like a belly laugh.
Yeah.
And that I rode that high for probably the rest of the day. Like I felt so good.
Yeah.
I understand that like trying to get it to translate into like a different medium is not 1-to-1.
Sure.
Granted, I think we're both very funny when we do this. I think Mike and I are typically pretty funny with, it's like news. So like,
Yeah.
it ebbs and
You
flows.
throw in. Yeah.
But I think like we have a nice balance. And I think
Sure.
like there are times where we're freaking hysterical.
Yeah.
And then I think like when we're doing the streams and stuff, I think it's generally funny. Like we have our goofs and gaffs.
Yeah.
Like
So.
I think if you watch the 30-minute video where I take just the best parts of like 40 hours worth of streaming, I think it's good.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, I'll say in my mom's defense, she knows about the streaming. She knows about the video games. I know. Just before we're like,
no.
I do stuff.
This isn't your mom or anything.
I know.
It's just the fact that it's just like, but then you look at the numbers.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
but that's so many creatives.
I know. But your compliments don't pay the bills.
Sure. I actually had, not that I really want to get into this because it's like a very nuanced thing, like basically along what you just said. I was at an event yesterday, like a pop-up that was, I'll be totally frank, dog shit. Just like people weren't interested. And it happens, like whatever. So I literally overheard someone being like, oh my God, you guys should do this more. Like you should come here more. And I kind of am like, I'm not mad at that person because I also love community events. I love pop-ups. If I see of a pop-up, I like try my best to get there and be supportive. And I also get there's days where like you just don't feel like buying anything, or the people there aren't really your style, or I just don't have it in the budget this month to go willy-nilly spending money. I totally get it. But there is something about like we all had a pretty bad day yesterday, like every single vendor there. And again, I would literally never ever say this to like that person ever, because I know they're being nice and genuine. But it is a little bit like, yeah, I'd love to come back here, but like you need to make it worth my time. Not you, but like the population in the area, the people who come here need to make it worth my time to be here. Because like I'm not just like free entertainment. Like I'm not like, my job isn't to sit here and like let you look at cool stuff.
I am free entertainment.
You are. Well, sometimes I'm also free entertainment. No, sometimes I'm paying to be entertainment.
Yeah.
That's what my situation is. And yeah, it was kind of like along those lines. Again, I would literally never say that to someone because that is so unfair. And like, I know they were just trying to be nice, and I go to plenty of events and don't spend money. But yeah, it's like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, a lot of creative outlets, it's trying to like, there's just not that like immediate reaction often to like financially support it. And that happens with like, I mean, social media has, I think, made it worse in a lot of ways and made it better because you now have to create free shit for people to even know you exist.
Yep.
And you have to generate so much free shit to get people to be convinced to support you in any way. It's a whole thing. Again, I'm not like mad about it because it's a very nuanced thing. And I'm not saying don't ever let people see stuff for free. That's absolutely not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it like complicates it all.
There's something really funny. Like you bring up like social media and like stuff like that. And I just want to be clear. Like, I'm not saying it's not hard work to like have to like try and always be on and like create like, I think a lot of people want to call those jobs easy because they just would rather be doing that than like whatever it is that they like have to do. 9 to 5, all that stuff. So I'm not saying it's like inherently easy. What always annoys me about like creators and creatives in general, when they're the ones who have like the biggest following and like the loudest voice to be able to like try and help other small creators, all they ever want to do is talk and bitch and moan about how it's like such a hard job and like they had to work so hard to get to where they are. And they never once acknowledge that there's like, there absolutely is a ton of luck
Oh my
baked
God, yeah.
into that success.
Yeah.
Like you did work hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then you also got lucky.
Yeah.
And like it's like, well, no, I made videos and or you know that just like fit the algorithm.
Sure.
Or I made clothing that just was like the it clothing for the current time. And it's like, yeah. So you just pointed out the algorithm and like trends,
Literally
which
right place,
are
right
random,
time. Yeah.
which are so random. It's right place, right time, exactly. Yeah. And nobody ever acknowledges that. Nobody ever says like, I do work hard. It is tough what I have to do. It's tough being on for 8 straight hours because I stream on Twitch every day. Like that is tough work. But I also acknowledge that I got incredibly lucky, and I am incredibly fortunate to be in the position that I'm in.
Yeah.
And you just don't see anybody ever like say that. And it's always so frustrating because they'll always put the like small creators down who do have to work a 9-to-5 job. And then on top of that, try to like grind and like be entertaining after having their soul sucked out of their body for 8 hours. And I don't mean in a good way.
Yeah.
I don't, we've all had our soul sucked out of our body
in a good way.
I don't know how we got there, but yeah, that's just something that that like kind of annoys me. And I like that's the other thing though, like I think when it comes to like your event kind of being a stinker, and when it comes to like us recording this episode and thinking it's the best episode we've ever made and it getting 1 view.
Yeah.
It's like you know, you can always think like, could I have done more in certain situations and stuff like that? But also at times you're just like, I just got unlucky.
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
It just the monkey paw didn't close around the right thing. It closed elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'll get hit down the line, hopefully.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how it is. And I think about like your event, especially yesterday, where it's just like there were a lot of things that would have pointed to that should have been like a good event and like should have been successful.
Yeah. It happens.
Any number of reasons, any number of things. Like, you know, like a bus full of people who were on their way to the event might have gotten rerouted because of like some accident, you know? Whoa. And they just like couldn't make it.
It is so funny. It just
wasn't on their itinerary.
It is really funny that like, you know, especially if it's like I mean, really at any event, vendors are like talking to each other and like normally trying to get the inside scoop. Like, oh, have you done this before? Have you done others? Have you done like, it's all kind of, it's like pretty much every event is like a mini networking event built into it. And literally sitting there, it was very dead for the first like 2 to 3 hours of sitting there. And literally people were like, oh, well, this is happening in the area. So maybe everyone's there. And oh, this is happening. Oh, and it's like being run like this. And like,
and you do need to point out.
You're sitting there like, trying to like point out the whys.
Yeah. Well, and again, it could be any number of things.
It could be,
like,
yeah.
You know, we were just talking about it earlier where, so we're recording this on Easter. And so it's Easter weekend. And yeah, Charlotte has a lot of transplants, but like, some people might make that effort to get home and back to family, you know, on like a holiday weekend because they might have gotten 1 or 2 additional days off of work.
Absolutely.
So, and you know, they don't know because they live far away. They don't know the next time they're going to get home and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, personally, I don't care. I'm not going home, but
I was just home, so I'm done.
But yeah, it's, you know.
Yeah, it's very unpredictable. You can do a million things and it still just doesn't quite pan out. And you can literally, I forget the quote, someone yesterday was like, what you can get them to come, but you can't get them to shop. Like there was a much better worded.
Yeah, you can lead a horse to water.
Yeah, that was what they were saying, but they like had it in terms of like market like words. Oh,
they should trademark that.
And yeah, it was basically like there were people there eventually, but it was so clear that like we were in a setting that people just were like, I just want to sit out on the patio and like drink and hang out and like be with family, and I'm not in the mood. Like, again, people perused, but you could just tell people weren't in the mood to like buy anything. And that's totally fine. Like, I go to shit all the time and don't spend a penny because it's just like, because I'm also, as if anyone's ever listened to a single SMSoup episode, I am against buying shit just to buy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I'm not going to go down a capitalist rant because that's what makes it all complicated and annoying. Because yeah, like someone who sells goods, genuinely my biggest fear is someone feeling pressured to buy something just to buy something, because I'm so against that as a person. But I also sit there and I'm like, but of course I'd love you to buy something because you're supporting me. But like, I genuinely have that internal battle constantly. Like I'm constantly, and this is like part of the like chaos in my brain, but it's kind of like, am I actually like, I love that. I love what I make. I love making things with my hands. I love putting it in front of people, and like the people who get it, I love talking to them. People who don't, I'm like, see you later. I don't care. But like, I love that experience. But I do sometimes like get in my head, like how long term is this? Because I am at my core against buying shit. And so I'm kind of being mild. I mean, again, the whole you work in the system you're in, blah, blah, blah. But like, I'm kind of being a little bit hypocritical, like a little bit. Again, I support other creatives everywhere I can. So it's not like I don't buy stuff from other artists. If I need to buy something, I seek out artists to buy it from. But like, again, I'm in my brain kind of riding that line.
But you also, like, you and everybody else has their own definition of like what is a need in the moment.
Oh,
and stuff like that.
absolutely. Yeah.
And like, you sell like clothing and stuff, and so like, yeah, okay, you're putting products out there, but like, to the point that you're like the path that you're going down, you're basically saying that like none of us need anything.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, that's not really true. You're still providing something that has use and like things like that. And like, you know, your art isn't just something to have something, right? Like it's decorative, or it invokes some sort of feeling in somebody, and that's why they feel the need to have it, to be able to like look at it and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's like silly almost to think that like people are only shopping and buying stuff within markets simply to buy something. Like, generally speaking, I think people buy stuff because they see it as a need or a want, not as like I checked a box.
I know. And a lot of this is my own internal battle. It's not like anyone is saying this stuff to me.
But if you hate capitalism so much, why do you have your own business, and why do you try and ride the free market? And
American Dream, baby. Oh my God, which update, everyone. I finished the book. If you didn't listen to our deep dive on cults, do. But as a huge synopsis, I brought up the book Cultish by Amanda Montell like 500 times, and I just finished it yesterday. And wow, again, she touches on a million things in that book. Go read it. It's really good. You can also get an audiobook form if you don't want to read it. The biggest thing that by the end I was like mind blown, she kept bringing it up, is how much like Protestant beliefs are like have built so much of, which it's obvious, like again, it like all was clicking together, but it like formulated so much of how we like talk about language, and how like the quote unquote American dream boils down to Protestant beliefs, and it's like a whole fucking thing. And now I want to research more on that, and I find it so interesting. And the end. But go read that book again and listen to the deep dive episode. But yeah, sorry, you just said me just making a joke about the American dream.
No.
Made flashback to finishing Cultish. But yeah, it's like a complicated situation, because so many people hate the system we're in, but we're in the system we're in. I mean, fucking half the vendors I talk to feel the same way I do.
Of course.
Because we all like are trying to do our own thing so that we aren't feeling like we're like, so we can do something we love and we're not feeling like destroyed.
Feel like you're not just another cog.
Yeah, but it's like, but then we also are having to create kind of like our own. This is very dramatic, but our own miniature hellscape of like the thing we're trying to avoid is what we're creating for ourselves. And now we need to keep doing it in order to survive. Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy. If you ever wonder what vendors talk about at events, it's a lot of that.
Okay.
Sorry, really derailed that, made it sad.
So this is coming out on April 1st.
It is.
Coming out on April Fool's Day.
April.
Uh-oh.
Also, that's the day one of Mercury going into retrograde. Look out, everyone.
So that might explain why this episode's so goofy and silly.
Ooh.
Or why it's going to be.
It's going to be.
Goofy and silly.
Yeah.
So I did put some stuff together. But real quick, just to, because I've been pulling questions from this this article. This is, if you ever wondered why I ask random questions every now and again, it's because I have a list. If you restarted your life from scratch, would you end up in the same place?
If I restarted my life from scratch, do I have the knowledge of everything I've done before? Because if I don't have the knowledge, I would say odds are very good I end up in the same place.
Yeah.
But if I have the knowledge, then I would say odds are pretty good I don't end up in the same place.
Interesting. What's the main thing you would try and change?
Well, as you so eloquently said earlier this morning, today, the day we're recording this, Easter, is the anniversary of the day you proposed to me.
Easter's not the day.
And ruined your life.
Yeah.
So to save you,
it ruined my life.
I would
forever.
change it. Yeah. No, I'm joking. No,
I don't. You would continue to make my life hell. Cool. Even with that knowledge.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. Do you have the knowledge?
I feel like to even have the conversation, you have to have the knowledge.
I guess
or is the assumption is the assumption being proposed with the complete blank slate and but the same questions? Were you maybe 50-50 and it's almost an alternate reality conversation where it's like, well, actually in this moment, I actually wore a purple shirt that day, so it made me choose this.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it feels like it's one or the other.
Yeah. So let's say you do have the knowledge.
Yeah.
Do you think you would make, what's the one thing where you feel like you'd make an effort that you maybe didn't make enough of that you feel would have the biggest impact on where you are now?
If I had all the knowledge of my current existence, but was given are we flashing back? We're going back? I could be 15 again and making the same decision?
I'm thinking
or what are we thinking?
From the jump? I don't know.
From the jump. Because the first example that popped into my head was, and this would be really fucking hard, and I probably wouldn't even want to make it, but my gut would tell me to make it, is, in all honesty, I probably wouldn't go to college if I knew all the information I knew now.
Interesting.
And that would be really hard because that actually was a very fantastic time.
Yeah, this is great. So I have to go to college.
You don't have to do anything. I'm
sorry.
You're not going to college based off me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you're saying, okay.
I'm saying.
Okay, wait, no. Okay. Hit me. Okay, wait. We're 7.
Mm-hmm.
We're in first grade together.
We see each other.
And we're like, oh my God, I know in the future, you come up to me and you go, I know in the future you're going to ruin my life the day I propose to you. And I go, oh my God, you're so right. I'm going to do a bunch of shit different. And you are now great. But with that knowledge, are you setting out to recreate it?
First off, in my head, I'm operating off of, I was joking about you ruining my life. So my goal would still be for us to end up together.
So your thought process would be, we should do everything the same to get to the same result.
I'm not saying we have to do everything the same because we're in control of our own destinies.
Sure.
And, so there's still plenty that could happen differently because we've been handed a gift that we knew each other in first grade.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah. So I mean, there's we already have the hardest part, and I think this question for any other couple, or most other couples, is how do we ensure we get back together?
Yeah. Do you think you'd still make the European joke to me in 5th grade and get me in trouble for laughing out loud?
No, of course not. I would never do something to deliberately sabotage your good standing.
I don't believe you at all.
If anything, I'm now trying to gas you up more and trying to get you positioned higher to
do bigger things.
do bigger things and have greater success.
Wow, I really appreciate that.
Of course.
Because you got me moved to the yellow. I was in trouble.
Yeah.
I've never been in trouble. Anyway, no, No, I
So you're
I get
not
what you're
going to
saying.
college.
Okay, yeah.
I would then need to go to college. 'Cause
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Shelby. I love our friends.
Me too.
So much.
That would be the thing I would
and
hate.
I wouldn't have them.
Okay,
Although
you would have them. You would still have them. You had them. You had them. You would
What do you
still
mean?
have them. Why am I saying the same sentence? You could still go and still have
that's
them.
what I'm saying. So if you don't go to college, I need to go to college because
I
it's
see.
the easiest way for me to like reconnect with those people.
Yeah.
Other than
See,
trying to work off of memory, exact
We're gonna hunt
locations of
them
where
all
they
down.
would be, and then just find them and be like, "Hi, we're now friends."
yeah. I think about half them would go for that.
Yeah, probably, maybe. I don't know.
No, see, because what my thought process was again, that would be a really hard choice. Like I would hate making that choice because college was the best for that exact reason. Like the social, the friends it gave me.
I mean, I'm just trying to think about this. Like, why wouldn't, like, if anything, I don't know, Shelby, like, you could go ahead and waste the days being at college and make those friendships, and I could become a professional baseball player.
Whoa, that would be sick.
Yeah, but guess what? I can't go to Robert Morris University on a baseball scholarship.
Oh, well, I see what
So.
you're saying. We would have to have a lot of plans on how to make it all work. How to get the good parts and like ditch the bad
Just
parts.
imagining like 7-year-old or 8-year-old.
There's like crayons on paper.
7-year-old or 8-year-old Shelby or Spencer going up to our parents going like, I want to hang out with my friend Shelby, or I want to hang out with my friend Spencer. And then we're just like
Maniacally.
fucking mastermind blueprints on like the bedroom floor, just like, okay, and then we have to, but if we want to get back to this time.
Our parents wouldn't let us hang out with each other. They
they'd
think
be
we're
like,
doing
"They're
something weird.
fucking nuts." And then you would have to move away.
Yeah. Oh, wow. My parents would elect to move earlier than they did. Wow, that would be pretty wild, actually.
Because you'd be telling them, you'd be like, you guys are moving anyway.
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it. And they'd be like, what is wrong with our fucking kid? Why does she have all this knowledge?
That would be pretty wild.
Oh my God, no, wait. You know what I'm actually doing differently? I'm going up to my dad and I'm saying, Dad, I know you don't trust me for shit because I'm only 8 years old, but I'm telling you, the Sox are down 3-0 in the ALCS. You gotta bet on them to win the World Series right now, Dad. Right now. And he's gonna be like, I don't even know how to place a bet. And I'm gonna go to Atlantic City.
We gotta
that's
go.
the only place.
Get in
but
the
don't
car.
worry, Dad. In like 20 years, it's gonna be available everywhere. And it's going to be an epidemic to a level that people are have a crippling disease because of this stuff. And like more than ever before.
You're actually gonna go, Dad, get in the car. And he's gonna be like, what? Like, you're still in your PJs. You were dressed for bed. And you're gonna be like, Dad, get in the car. We gotta go to Atlantic City. And he was like, what is going on? You're like, don't worry, I'll drive. I remember how to do that. And you just start walking away. You're all business. You're not here trying to convince him of shit.
I'm still holding my teddy bear.
And you're still holding your teddy bear. Yeah, for sure.
I didn't have a teddy bear.
What? Did you have anything? Did you have like a stuffed animal?
No, I don't think so.
That's really upsetting to me.
So anyway, I agree with you though. If we don't have the knowledge,
Probably the same
it
shit.
seems like right, like the most
Like,
likely
how would you
outcome
really
is
make
the
anything
one that
different?
has already existed.
Yeah. Again, maybe minor things, but I don't see anything dramatic. Like, not that I've been given a lot of big life choices in my life that really I had to sit and think about.
Yeah, but like butterfly effect, you don't even know. Like the smallest of choices could lead to a bigger choice down the road.
Yeah.
That's the whole like fun of
know.
infinite timelines.
But like then
Here's
would
the
really
thing.
anything be different? Probably not.
Here's the thing. I know somewhere out there in the infinite universes, there is a Spencer who is living the happiest life.
Are you saying this is the worst timeline?
Starting third
This is the
baseman
darkest.
for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Third baseman.
They don't even need Nolan Arenado
Whoa.
because Spencer Miller is such a good third baseman.
That's crazy. And then there's an alternate universe where you woke up as Brendan Urie.
And then there's an alternate universe
Yeah.
where it's definitely worse than this one.
Oh, okay.
I like
Thank
to
you.
I like to think that this one just happens to be like probably
I think this is the middle ground, yeah.
Because it's fucking awful to think about if this is the best,
Yeah.
and it's just as depressing
I think we're in the worst.
to know we're in the worst.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Okay, I'm really excited for what I've prepared, but before we get into that, I feel like we have a lot of like exciting things that are like coming up
Okay.
for the podcast.
Sure.
We have a lot of like plans.
Sure.
So I thought we could kind of
Yeah.
maybe just like run through them
Yeah.
real quick and like kind of drum up some excitement for all that's to come.
Okay.
Next week is
Yeah. I'm gonna play devil's advocate to to Spencer's 3 rants he proposed to me.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be Spencer has a rant, and I'm probably gonna give him. I'm gonna have to cut you off at probably 3 minutes of ranting.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to cut you off. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Cut you off, let you present,
Well,
and then I'm going to attempt to devil's advocate. And I will say I was given these in advance, so I can actually have something tangible to say.
I think you just let me go, and then as soon as you have something to say that's contrarian, you just chime in, and then we'll be able to go off of that.
Yeah,
and
that should be fun.
That might be what actually causes us to maybe get a divorce.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Right. The following week is I think we're doing like a little like trip down memory lane.
Yes, we are doing a bit of our relationship history, something along those lines. Because the following week it will tie into where it'll be our year on the dot of being married.
Yep.
And so we're going to do some relationship do's and don'ts.
Yeah. I think like the week prior, the 15th, is going to be a lot of like, like here's why things worked out so
We're going to expose our biggest fight we've ever had. And it was when Shelby almost bought a cat in the moment.
I actually know what our biggest fight was.
I don't know if I do.
Oh, okay.
That should be fun. Anyway, we're going to talk about that stuff. Yeah. Doing some relationship stuff.
Yeah.
I think it'll be funny, though. And I'm sure plenty of our pretty typical marriage and relationship rants will come out.
And then the following week is the movie club.
1979. We're getting there. It should be a really fun month. I'm excited.
And then May, we have some stuff already planned.
We do.
May, there's a...
Look it back up.
So one of them's a surprise for you.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
That I'm not gonna tease at all.
Yeah.
But it has.
Will I like it or hate it?
I
don't like.
I don't know.
Hesitation.
I don't know. I think conceptually.
Sure.
I think conceptually you'll love it.
Okay.
You'll love like the general idea of it, but I think the execution you're not. I think the execution, not that I don't think you're going to hate it.
Yeah.
I think the execution, you're going to be like, this isn't the ideal execution.
Okay.
For this concept.
Sure.
But I think like overall.
Okay.
I think it'll be really good. I think the crowd will love it.
I'm excited.
And then the following week is because this is like around your birthday, you are going to try and convince me
to become a birthday guy.
To become a birthday girl.
Yeah.
And then the following week, we're taking the GED.
We're going to take some practice GED question test thingies because you have to like pay to take the actual thing. So we're going to find some.
We also don't have a need to take it because we graduated high school.
We did, but you know what I mean? Like we can't get like the actual test that would be given to you. We are going to take some practice questions that I found on good old Quizlet. Which, damn, I think I'm going to be really bad at, just a heads up. And then the last week, we don't really have a topic, but since we're focusing on like education, it'll be some kind of deep dive.
General deep dive into.
We haven't decided what we're touching on. Could be education. Something about public schools. Could be education.
Universities.
Yeah, I've had a note saved about like college move out for a really long time because there was an article I read like a year ago. Like it would have been a year ago because it happens in May. College move out. And it really got me fired up, but I never actually dug any deeper. So maybe that'll be a thing or tie into it.
Yeah.
We'll see. I've had some thoughts saved.
The following week, I mean, I feel like we haven't talked a ton about like just our college experience. So I mean, the following week, even we could like maybe do a bit of a deep dive into like the personal impacts of college. Like, I was thinking about it. So when you first graduate and you're like trying to find a job, what's the most important thing on your resume?
Like, what did I think was the most important thing?
No. What is the most important thing on your resume? It doesn't matter what you think. I would say this is like a bona fide fact. If you are fresh out of college, the most important thing on your resume is Your fucking name show. Come on, something. What?
Your like internships, like your work experience. I don't know what.
You're fresh out of what fucking work experience do you
Those
have?
internships. I had like 3.
What the most important thing is either where you went to school or like
Oh,
your education in general.
sure.
Is the most important thing. Fresh
Okay.
out, right?
Sure. Sorry.
You have nothing. You like my work experience was I did maintenance.
You had an internship?
I did have an internship, but like, and then Dick's Sporting's good. Dick's
Well,
Sporting.
I mean,
That
whatever.
doesn't
You're a
help you.
college kid.
Right, but that's not that like that's not gonna sway you. The thing that has the most pull and the most power is probably your
Okay. I hear you.
education, right?
Yeah, like your degree,
Okay.
maybe your
This has gone terribly
maybe your GPA. Is that what it's called?
at the
Grade point
time.
average? Yeah.
5.
How quickly do you kick your GPA off your
I
thing?
think after your first
year?
after
First
your
job?
first work experience, first
Whoa.
like real work experience, post college.
Sure.
Because internships are still like those are still important and everything, but like I think like an internship plus the GPA is what helps like maybe you like net a job.
Yeah.
I don't know. 5 years down the line, if you have 3 jobs, 3
Yeah.
things of work experience, your education is now the least important thing on your resume.
Yeah, you're just saying you have a degree. Yeah.
So fucking wild.
It is wild, yeah.
And it's like it's literally like then this is the most important thing. This is what's going to help you get a job. Now, why did you even go? But you needed it for the then.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so funny to think about.
It is funny, yeah. That'll be fun to talk about.
Yeah. And yeah, so we have a good bit, and then June will be another movie club.
Yep.
And
Which we'll pick that year at the
Yes.
end of April during the 1979 movie club.
exciting times.
It is exciting times.
I'm excited for like literally this also probably helped with like my like creative energy
Okay.
because we planned out almost 2 full months worth of
Yeah.
content that we're gonna like put together and stuff. So
I mean,
was really excited.
having given ourselves a little bit of structure between the movie club and the deep dives, as fucking stupid as it is, wow, putting a little bit of structure helped us come up with more shit
I
and
know.
plan a little bit and be
I
ready.
know.
So yeah, now we almost always have like a month or 2 out ready, and we kind of have a bunch of ideas we shift around based on.
Well, we did not have April ready until like last week, and then we were like,
That's true, I guess.
now we have it ready,
That's true.
and now we have today, which I put something together.
Yeah. And are we gonna do it?
Yeah, are you ready?
Yeah.
April Fools. All right, outro.
How did I not see that coming? Like from a mile away. How did I not see that coming? I really was like, wow, you're filling the time so much. Do you not want to talk about anything? Are we pushing shit off? Okay,
I
well,
can't believe we got 48 minutes out of this.
thank
This is
you.
dog shit.
Thank
This was
you
a bag of shit.
for being here and for listening to this dog shit episode. No, it wasn't dog shit. You can find our socials in the description of every episode. You can find SMSoup Podcast on all streaming services and YouTube. And you can find us
On all
on
streaming services. We're on Max.
we're on Peacock.
We're on Pornhub.
Yeah, we are not in North Carolina though. So we have also you can find SMSoup Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. That's where we tend to post a few clips whenever Shelby gets to it in 5 years. Or she posts the movie club movies that we're watching. So if you need a reminder of what to watch from 1979, it is on both those platforms.
And that's all it's good for.
That's all it's good for, unfortunately. We're trying, folks, but I still suck. So thank you again for being here, and we will see you in the next one. Happy April. Be good during Mercury in retrograde. Okay, bye.